please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA, gateway to the 7 theme lands of the Magic Kingdom.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the Monday Morning Monorail Podcast. This is Monday, August the 7th? I forgot what day it is. Is it the 6th?
The 6th.
Monday, August the 6th. I'm jumping you ahead in time. No, it's the 6th. And this is episode number 16 of Monday Morning Monorail. You've already heard one of my co-pilots today, and that was...
McKenna.
And also joining us is Mr.
Garrett.
And then my always co-pilot...
Sam.
Yeah. Welcome back to the show, guys. We are now, we're not reporting from the past like we were for the last 2 episodes. I mean, unless you're listening way in the future, and then yes, we are recording and reporting from the past. But it's a lot more current. We're back from Disney, and we are ready to bring you a trip report. But you know, we thought maybe it'd be fun if we had somebody on here asking us questions in a similar fashion to the way we did when they went to Walt Disney World. So
Yeah.
we invited a very special guest back to the show, and that is someone that you may hear on the Mouse Knows Best podcast. And he is also a contributor to, help me with the website again,
Geek Vibes Nation.
Geek Vibes Nation, writing blogs about Game of Thrones and other articles. It's awesome, very cool, so check it out. It is Kevin. Kevin's back.
Yes, I'm happy to be back.
Welcome
Exciting.
back. Yeah. Well, you told us when you were here last time that you thought it might be a fun kind of flip of the script to come back and interview us about our trip. So you're here now, and guess what? I'm done hosting. I'm turning it over to you.
Wonderful. I'm excited. This is going to be fun. So, first off, I want to address one thing. Mm-hmm. When you guys get back from Disney, one of the biggest things is the Disney blues that you get. Y'all are doing like the best thing right now, recording together, taking care of that. So that's like a real cool thing that y'all are doing.
Oh, I definitely have the Disney
Already.
blues right now.
Already. Golly. But it helps to talk about it a little
Yeah,
bit
it
and get
does.
it off your chest and be like, you know, hey, we're talking about Disney every week, so it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
So the way that I want to do this is I'm just going to open the questions up really to whoever wants to answer them. So I'm going to start really generic. What was your favorite part of the trip?
All right. I think we should start with the kiddos.
Yeah.
McKenna, why don't you start?
I really liked Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
Animal Kingdom was so much fun, and I really liked the safari ride because I got to see all the cool
Kilimanjaro
animals.
Safari.
Yes.
Yep.
And being scared by the bridge that we
Oh,
weren't
yeah.
expecting. That was funny.
The bridge on the ride, on the actual ride.
Yeah, because like it rained before, so I actually thought the road was closed because of rain.
Oh.
So
One of those things, yes.
Yeah, so now this is a major headline, I feel like, because if you remember, I told you we've never had a successful day in Animal Kingdom.
Yes.
It's like there's always something bad that happens.
From the looks you did.
But we did have a good day in Animal Kingdom this time. Like, we didn't have any major catastrophes. The only thing was there were some storms that went through. But
Yeah.
as it turned out, we were actually going to head into the Up Bird Show right when the first storm came through. Well, they canceled the show, but they let us use that area for shelter.
Oh, okay.
So it was nice. We just stepped right in there. We stayed dry. So we actually avoided catastrophe.
Wonderful. That's
Yeah.
exciting. See,
Yeah.
and now Animal Kingdom's a great part.
It
right?
was. It was really good.
That up canceling was a catastrophe for me because I love birds, and I was really excited to see that bird
Yeah,
show.
I know. Well, let's talk about what was your favorite part
The
of the whole trip.
whole trip, either Hollywood Studios or Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
What
I really
specifically?
Toy Story Land.
I was hoping somebody would say that.
yeah.
And tell us why, because you have a new favorite ride.
The Slinky Dog Dash was awesome.
Yeah.
Really? Is it as hyped up as it seems?
Does it deserve the hype?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can hear a Slinky Dog talking.
I have a little bit different point of view on that, but I mean, I really thought it was fun, and I'm glad I did the Slinky Dog, but I would never wait 2 hours for that.
Is that how long the wait was?
Not when we waited, because we
Okay.
went
It
at
was
night.
about an hour and a half.
Oh, you did it at night?
We did it at night.
yeah.
Gosh.
And McKenna and I, last row.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
Was it awesome?
It was very cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was fun. We ended up waiting about 90 minutes. No. It was closer to, I'm going to say 75.
I don't think so.
But the big thing was, again, we were racing a storm. There was
Okay.
lightning everywhere.
Really?
And while we were in line, they actually came over the PA and said, "Ladies and gentlemen, we apologize, but if we have to shut the ride down unexpectedly, it is for your safety."
Oh my gosh.
And I'm glad that they didn't, because I would have had another relapse of crying in Disney.
Yeah, I feel like that would have been like a catastrophe.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, we ended up riding it. I would agree with Sam, and I would say I would never wait 2 hours for it. It's better than the Barnstormer. You've probably heard people say this.
I hope so.
It's better than Barnstormer. I actually would put it if it weren't for the animatronics on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which I love the part where you're going through the mine, I think it would easily be ahead of that. For a roller coaster, it is. It's a better roller coaster than Seven Dwarfs. I think it's a good starter coaster for the kids. It's fun. And especially at night, the way they light it up.
Yeah,
That's
the
what I've
lights are
seen.
really cool.
I've seen that the whole land is just like better at night.
Yeah.
Whenever we were riding it, there was a storm kind of like outside of the park.
Yep.
And you could see lightning striking by
Yeah,
looking
you
that
could.
way.
That's pretty scary.
I'll say one disadvantage of riding it at night was we didn't get those kind of bird's eye view of Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
But we walked over and kind of tried to peek over the fence a little
okay.
bit. It's coming along.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could see like rocks.
Yeah.
Like mountains.
The
and
spires.
stuff.
Yeah.
That's so cool, though.
Oh,
Your
my
favorite part.
This is really hard, because I don't know. I mean, I wished that. So we did the after hours at Magic
Yes.
Kingdom. That was really awesome, but I wish it was just a little bit longer.
Okay.
But we got to do everything we really wanted
Yeah.
to make happen.
Really?
And we did Haunted Mansion twice.
We did.
So that was cool. I think that would be my favorite, because we were literally walking onto rides.
Yeah, those special ticket events. They'll be real savers to getting on rides.
Yeah.
And here's what I would say about the after hours party. First of all, we were allowed to get in at 7.
Okay.
So we were able to enter the park. We actually had 6 hours because it went from 7 to 1 a.m. Wow. I wish that right at 10 o'clock, because that's when Magic Kingdom closed, they had started like being police and kicking people out that didn't have lanyards. But we were still seeing people until right around 11, and they were letting them on rides.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
They were letting us use the fast pass lane if we had a lanyard, but they were letting
okay.
other people get on the rides.
Yeah.
It still made it more crowded and slowed us down.
Like rides like Haunted Mansion, you still essentially
Yeah,
are still waiting.
it doesn't make a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a little frustrating. The other thing I would say is you should, if your only time in the Magic Kingdom on a trip is to do an after hours party and you don't get to go that frequently, it's maybe not the best way to do it, because you're going to be so concerned about trying to go around and do the rides, you don't take advantage of like the unlimited ice cream and popcorn and all that stuff.
I forgot they even offered that.
Yeah.
We did. I ended up eating 4 Mickey ice cream sandwiches.
Really?
I had one
I
ice cream.
had 2 of the
Mickey bars.
Mickey bars.
Yeah.
And we had some
We had popcorn. We got our money's worth in soda, I guess, but
Yeah.
still, even so, like we didn't do any shopping because Main Street was really still open, but we didn't do that.
Yeah.
We were just concerned trying to get from ride to ride, and then like we did Small World and immediately regretted it because we were like, this was time we could have.
20-minute ride that
Yeah.
we could have been doing
Yeah.
something else.
Yeah.
Oh,
And it was stuck in my head forever after
Yeah.
that.
So that's what I would say about it. Sorry, didn't mean to jump in your.
No.
No. I mean, that was what I had to say. Oh, and I will say about Toy Story Land, if you go, you have to go get one of those homemade Pop-Tarts. They're
Oh
Are
yeah,
they
good
good?
tarts.
Oh my gosh.
The turkey sandwich was
Oh
awesome.
yeah, we got the
Really?
That
breakfast
was
sandwich.
so good.
Okay.
Yeah, breakfast there is great.
So that's what I've heard. I've heard that breakfast is like probably the best
It
meal
is.
there.
Yeah.
So yeah, high scores in our book for Woody's lunchbox.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well, good. And were you all able to find like seating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's
Because
that I've seen.
they police that area. Like if you're not
Really
coming
well?
to eat, they don't let you sit
Oh, cool.
down.
That's good. I like that.
So, and they need to because there's
Yeah.
not a lot of seating over there. But it was good.
What was your favorite part?
Yeah, God, I was trying to think. We had such a good time everywhere. I'm gonna just say the food experiences we had were probably my favorite because we got to eat at some really cool places. We went to Morimoto Asia.
Oh my gosh, it was so good.
And it was amazing. It was so good. We got some pretty cool drinks. Sam got do you remember what it was called? The drink that had the edible flower?
It was some kind of lotus drink.
Yeah, and she got that. That was pretty cool.
It was white with a purple flower on top.
And the flower was edible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And we got is it the Burry Bop that we got? Where
they cook it
bring
on your
out
table?
this
Oh, really?
400-degree bowl, and then they cook the fish on the side of the bowl at the table side.
Really?
That was really neat.
That seems pretty
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah.
I've never been to Morimoto, Asia. So.
It was a cool experience. Jock Lindsay's Hanger Bar was awesome.
Yes, it was really cool too.
Yeah.
We went there for a few drinks and just kind of some appetizers early on at Disney Springs. That was really cool. 50s Primetime was a lot of fun.
Did you
Yeah.
guys like 50s Primetime?
50s primetime was hilarious.
Really?
I was so nervous the whole time.
We had a pretty nice server. He wasn't like being real mean to the kids, but we saw there were some grumpy ladies walking
Oh
around.
my gosh.
yeah.
They're kind of scary. Like, I wasn't sure if one lady was joking or not. She came over and the guy just sat back down at the table and she said, did you ask permission to get up? And he said, well, I had to go to the bathroom. She said, well, that's fine, but you still got to ask. She said, do you want me coming into your house walking around anywhere I want to go? No. So you don't do it here. And she shook her head and walked away and never even smiled. I was like, oh my gosh, she's about to smack him.
That's like my ideal Disney job is working there. You can be as mean
Yeah.
as you want to be. And just like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
We
whatever."
kind of talked about it. It's like a Dick's Last Resort, but Disney style.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's like what it is.
That's so cool.
And like I said, Woody's Lunchbox was really good. We had such good food. And then, of course, Beaches and Cream.
Yes, that's speaking of beaches and cream. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
That was later on, but you mentioned it, so I want to talk
Yep,
about it.
let's do it.
The unicorn.
We got it.
Oh my gosh.
So, in one word,
Yep.
I want all of you to describe the kitchen sink.
Okay.
Who wants to go first?
painful is the word I would use.
And some context, of course, McKenna's allergic to chocolate, and we told her, this was the thing we were doing before we were heading home. We gave her some allergy medicine, but it hit her immediately.
My mouth went numb for a few hours after eating it.
Wow.
I couldn't feel anything. It was so weird.
Garrett,
That's terrifying.
It was. It was kind of, but she was all right. We knew she was going to be okay. Garrett, what was your one word?
Huge.
Huge.
I was
Huge.
hoping somebody would say that.
Yeah, I don't know if I can use one. It's going to be too much.
That's exactly what I was going to say. So they say the kitchen sink is for 2 to 4 people. Mm-hmm. That's not enough.
Because y'all are 4.
Yeah, you need 6, I think. I
Really?
mean, if you have maybe 4 people that eat like I do, you might be all right. But you look around this table, and you've got, first of all, a chocolate allergy, which slowed her down. A person who eats like a bird, and then another person who eats like a bird. So
I don't.
they give you these bowls to spoon out the kitchen sink into. So you're not just all digging into the same thing. And I had 4 of those little bowls. I think everybody else had 1. You had 2. You had 2.
I think I worked in almost 2.5.
Almost 2.5.
Yeah.
But you guys, you had 2? Really?
I had 1.5.
Okay, so you
With
had
the
more than I
chocolate
thought.
allergy had 2. Gosh,
Yeah.
that's a trooper.
Yeah. It was cool. I
I'd be
mean,
like, no.
I don't know.
It was brutal, though.
It's one of those things that I feel like I'm glad we can check it off our Disney bucket list. But I don't think we really need to do it again. Because we did have some of the lunch food beforehand, which I guess was a mistake. Because we needed that room for ice cream.
Yeah, we should have just had an ice cream lunch.
Yeah.
Was the actual food there good?
Yes.
The Reuben was really good. Me
Really?
and Mom shared a Reuben.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
And Garrett and I shared the grilled cheese and tomato soup. And it was
you
good.
never hear anything about the actual food. You just hear about the
Yeah.
ice cream. So that's good to hear that the actual food's good.
Oh, I forgot to mention, too, Kona Cafe. That was a good experience for eating. Sorry. I wanted to
Yeah,
add
that was
one in
really
there.
good, too.
And she avoided pineapple. So.
I did.
I
They
had
were
my
really
first
great.
Eel.
Oh, yeah. Garrett had an eel sushi roll.
Where at?
At Kona.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, y'all went for dinner.
Yeah, we
Correct?
did.
Okay.
We did. So
Eel was really squishy.
it was. But so yeah, beaches and cream. Glad we did it. I don't think, and I'll tell you why it's so hard to get a reservation there. There are literally no tables.
It's
Really?
very small.
If they packed it out, it might be able to hold 50 people
Oh, my gosh.
at most.
Why is it even operating there?
Yeah, it's very small. I don't think they ever intended it to be as popular as it is or something. I don't know.
I think the next time we go, instead of going to Beaches and Cream, Allison, she's at WDW Minibar on Twitter. She suggested a place that has ice cream flights.
Ample Hills.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ample
yeah.
Hills. So I think next time I'd like to try that instead.
Yeah, I've never tried either one of those, but
Yeah.
that's so cool. That I mean,
It's cool that we
were
did it.
talking before them. And I
Yeah.
was like, it's so cool you actually
Yeah.
got it.
Oh, it was neat. I do not regret the experience at all.
And there wasn't any cardboard people in there.
No cardboard
Nope.
people.
No
Real
cardboard
people.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, and it was. I liked the food there too, so it was very good.
Okay, so while we're talking about food,
Yep.
just gonna go ahead and knock all the
Yep.
food out. Out of all of the food restaurants, or
Yep.
all the quick service and table service,
Yep.
so you did Morimoto Asia, Jock Lindsay's, Kona Cafe,
Yep.
and what was your other one? Beaches and Cream
And 50s Prime Time.
and 50s Prime Time.
Oh, yeah, we went to Nomad Lounge.
Oh yeah, you did the Nomad Lounge, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I saw a picture of you guys doing that too.
Oh, my gosh.
Was that great?
Hold on. I might have to retract a statement. I said the food. I got to tell you, Flight of Passage would be up there for my best experience of the trip.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna ask about Pandora.
Okay, because it was just as good as advertised. You want to talk about?
That was something else.
You want to talk
completely.
about? There's a reason that there's still a 2-hour standby wait for
And
that ride.
You had fast passes.
We had
right?
fast passes.
Okay.
And I would stand for 2 hours
You
for
would?
that ride.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Ride, that is tied with Slinky Dog for my favorite.
Yeah.
Really?
You see people and they talk about like it made them emotional. Mm-hmm. I get it,
You smell it, you see it everywhere, you feel it. It's
and it's gorgeous.
And it's
Yeah.
It's like
It's something.
Like,
So
and,
anyway,
like you can feel what is
the banshee.
The banshee breathing.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
it feels like you're riding
so.
something.
You guys just over the moon.
we loved it.
Yeah.
We
What
loved
about
it.
Pandora as a whole? Because I was going to ask about Pandora as a whole. So did you get to go like what you went during the day? Correct.
We went during the day and at night.
Oh, so you got to go at night as
Yeah.
well.
Uh-huh.
Now let me ask you: is it still bioluminescent around the park? Because I've seen something saying that it's not as much.
So
anymore.
I wish I would have seen it before they added some of the floodlights because it's definitely more
So there are
lit.
floodlights.
It's definitely more lit than what I used to see when people would do walkarounds, but it's still dark enough that you can appreciate the bioluminescence.
Yeah, I think so.
We also did the Navi River,
Yeah.
and I thought that the animatronic was a real person.
The shaman.
yeah, that's
and
what
I
we
was
did
thinking
our
about
first time.
waving at them.
So let me ask you this: since you did the Navi River too, and you said you'd wait over the 2 hours
Yeah.
for Flight of Passage, how long would you be willing to wait for the river journey?
Not that long.
No.
30 minutes at most.
At the
Yeah.
most?
Yeah. And we waited a long time because we didn't have fast passes for
So
Navi
how long
River.
did you wait for that?
60 minutes, I
Yeah,
think.
at
We waited
least.
an hour.
Yeah, and I'm again glad I did it.
Yeah.
Now that I've done it, it is a really pretty ride, but I wouldn't wait. I think the ride itself was nice, but the most impressive part was the animatronic they
The
had.
end.
That,
Yeah.
that whole
Literally.
when you see her, it blows your freaking
It is.
mind. You're like, holy crap! What this
And
looks like a real thing.
There are some pretty cool effects throughout the ride, but is it worth waiting an hour for that?
No.
I wouldn't. I mean, to me, I don't know how you feel about the Three Caballeros in Mexico. That boat ride. Did you? What would you like? You wouldn't wait an hour for that, but it's fun. You want to do it, right?
I don't know if I've
You don't
done
remember?
it.
You did it.
Oh.
Do you remember
With
it
Donald Duck and
in the Mexico Pavilion
Yeah.
in Epcot?
Choose your words wisely
Oh,
because this
correct.
is like my favorite ride at Epcot.
Yes, I did do that, and I do like
I
that
really
one.
Right,
liked it.
but would you wait an hour for it? Like I would compare it about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't wait. It's my favorite ride at Epcot, and I wouldn't wait an hour for
That's
it.
all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's good, but I wouldn't wait an hour.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
so-
Okay.
but anyway, sorry. Back to food. I
Yes.
sidetracked us.
No, yeah. We're going all over the place. It's all good.
There's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, it's a troop report. It's fun. So, out of all the places that you ate, quick service and table
Yep.
service,
Yep.
which one was your favorite? And then at that place, what was your favorite meal?
Okay, start with you this time.
So I'm very biased. I love Chef Morimoto, and going to Morimoto Asia was something I really wanted to do, and it didn't lack in what I was expecting.
It lived up to it.
Yeah, definitely.
But Morimoto wasn't there, unfortunately.
No, if he was, I would have cried.
That would have been trip over. I'm done.
I'm pretty sure the trip would have been complete at that moment because I love him. He's such a cool chef.
Yeah.
I think my favorite thing there was the sticky ribs that we had.
Oh yeah, those ribs were good
Holy cow!
at Morimoto.
I don't know what he does or had the chefs do for that.
Oh, the meat's so tender. It
It's
falls right off the
amazing.
bone.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And the sauce is great. So, I mean, that was really good. But for my drink, I think the Nomad Lounge drink that I had, that was like a souped up old fashioned, was really good.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. So
I've heard the drinks at Nomad Lounge are just like
Oh, yeah.
phenomenal.
they're pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So
All right. I would have said Morimoto, but I'm going to be different.
Okay.
And I'm actually going to say Kona Cafe. And the reason I'm going to say that is because it surprised me with the quality of food that we got there.
it was good.
We got the Kona coffee rubbed filet, and we shared that. And we also got the large Kona sampler that had a lot of the sushi, sashimi, nigiri, and also the regular traditional roll. And all of it was great. The filet was amazing. It was really delicious food. And I got the lime habanero margarita there.
Oh, gosh.
It was great.
Was it good?
It was so good. It had that tingle in the back of the throat, like it wasn't.
I imagine.
It wasn't overwhelmingly hot. It just gave you that sense of I've had something spicy, but it was still kind of tart, and it was a weird experience, but I liked it.
Well,
I
yeah.
liked it.
I
but-
just had a beer there.
But that Kona coffee rub filet was delicious, and it just surprised me. I didn't expect to put that so high. The 50s Primetime Fun Experience, the food was just okay in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get any coffee while you were at Kona?
No, we didn't get coffee.
Oh,
we
God.
bought
We bought
coffee.
coffee.
Okay, good.
We
good.
brought it
Kona
home.
coffee is just like
Yeah, we got the Joffrey's
top
Kona
notch,
blend. Yeah,
top notch.
it's good. We've been making it. We had some this morning.
Yeah.
Kenna.
Satuli Canteen
forgot.
is my
Yes.
favorite, and the cheeseburger
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
so good. It's absolutely amazing, and even the chips are great that come with it.
oh my gosh, I
It
was
was
eating
so
everybody's chips that I
It was
could.
Yeah,
so
they're
so
so
good.
good.
That was my favorite.
All right, I want to say
That's a
something.
great favorite.
She stole both of my answers.
That's okay. Come up with another one.
No, that was
That was it.
everything
All
I
right.
was thinking
Satuli's
about.
top
That's
of the
fine.
line.
It was
Top of
good.
The line. That's
We
good,
had
though.
so many good food options. It was hard to pick, but yeah, that
yeah.
was good.
I like what I was thinking while you guys were listing your options is like, y'all do it the right way. You get like one meal and then like you
Yeah.
split it and then you get like another one and you guys share. So
Yeah.
really you're getting like 3 entrees in one.
Oh yeah,
trying everything on the menu.
We actually started this the last time we went to Disney because we realized it's too much food if everybody gets their own entree.
Yeah.
We get an appetizer, so we get multiple things that we can share, and that leaves more room in the budget for drinks.
Yes, that's
Exactly.
true.
That's so smart. Like,
And-
I would have never thought about that.
Gosh, it feels like it. Food comes in such huge quantities
portions.
there, so you should share with people. And actually, one place we went to, we got like 3 entrees, but shared it with all 4 of us, and we all got to try something different. You
Yeah.
know, and we were full. So
You're trying new. You're going to a new restaurant and then you're
Yeah.
trying a bunch of things on the menu at the same time,
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a good way to do it.
which ultimately saves money.
Yep.
yeah, it makes sense too, because I felt like there were times we were throwing stuff away, and we didn't need to do
Yeah.
that either. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
you guys went to the last time you went to Walt Disney World was probably like
was
4 years ago.
Mhm.
So, as a whole, much better, a little bit better, a ton better, not better than when it was 4 years ago. The current state
that's
right now.
That's a good question.
Much better,
Well,
but still pretty rough.
you're saying based on your experience was much better this time because I didn't
Correct.
run you to death.
But I mean, I think the only thing, I know everybody says differently, but we went to the Tiki Room,
Mm-hmm.
and I like the one with Iago.
I
where-
miss Iago.
Yeah, where it went kind of crazy and
Mm-hmm.
the gods were mad. Like, I kind of liked that one.
That is blasphemous.
I know. I
At least you liked one
understand.
version of the Tiki Room. I don't like any version of it. I was like, oh, that's horrible.
Well, I think this last version kind of was a little boring, you know?
Thank you.
And when Iago was there, at least he was like saying things, and you're like, oh, because you're like, cover the small children's ears. He's, running off at the mouth, but
Yeah, it's tough because we didn't go to Epcot this time.
Yeah.
So if we're talking,
miss
if we're
Epcot.
talking experience, we did some really cool first time things.
Mm-hmm.
But we also did on the trip before, especially first time for these 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really tough. I would put them very, very close. I think Disney overall has improved.
Yeah, like the resort itself.
The resort has improved. I like the new offerings that we experienced because we didn't. Pandora wasn't open when we went before. Toy Story Land wasn't open when we went before. So some of the new things that are there have improved the overall experience. But as far as my personal experience trip-wise, it's pretty close. But that's saying something because we only spent 3 days in the parks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so...
And by the way, like, totally caught off guard by the Star Wars ride.
She didn't know it changed.
I had no idea.
Really?
And we rode it twice, and the second one was way cooler because it had
Darth
Vader.
The second one was better.
Yeah, so what combinations did you get?
Yeah, so the first time was the first time the pod race?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
That was the second time?
That was the second one because it had...
Jar Jar.
Yeah.
Didn't make sense.
I can't remember they're jumbling in my mind. I remember the first one, like the second time we went, it started with the Darth Vader stopping the ship, and that was pretty cool. The first time it didn't do that. I didn't realize that you got different messages. Like the first time it was Princess Leia.
Oh, really? You had Princess Leia? I've never had Princess.
And the second time it was Yoda.
I do remember
that was pretty
I don't
neat.
think I've had Yoda either. I think normally I get Maz Kanata.
Okay.
Or like General Akbar.
Oh, okay.
Admiral Akbar.
Yeah, we didn't get either one of those, but
yeah.
So it's Star Tours is interesting for us because when we went last time, we got on the ride, and then C-3PO is in the driver's seat. They start to lower the thing, and he's like, R2, we're not ready to go. Right when he said that last time, the ride shut down and it closed.
Oh, really? So you literally were not ready to go.
and then we sat in there, and they came in. They're like, "Oh, sorry, we've had an issue. We're gonna have to move you to a different simulator, or a different ship." So they moved us, and we ended up getting fast passes because that
they
happened.
gave us free fast passes.
So we've had some interesting Star Tours experiences,
right?
But yeah, it was funny because she came off. She was like, I don't remember that stuff happening last time. I was like, it was totally different. And she's like, I didn't know it changed.
That's so cool, though.
So, what about you guys? Did you think this was better, or overall, what was your opinion?
Okay, so I think it was better.
Okay.
And I also think that Disney's gotten a lot more immersive with its new stuff, too, which makes it all a lot better. Because, sometimes whenever you enter the newer areas, it feels like you're in a different park than you were before. And I really, really like that. I think that's a great part.
Yeah. I would agree. Specifically, Pandora
felt
like it was a totally different place.
Yeah, that was a pretty cool land, part of Animal Kingdom. And it really does. It makes you feel like you're not in Animal Kingdom.
It's different sounds, different smells, different things to see. It just doesn't... And even Animal Kingdom itself, whenever you were in different areas, like in Africa or Asia, it felt different. It didn't feel like you were at a park, really.
Yeah.
Garrett?
Yeah. Animal Kingdom's different countries and and areas did feel different, but I think it was way better because I'm bigger and I wasn't as scared of rides.
There you go.
So I didn't throw temper tantrums when I had to ride a ride.
It's true. He was good.
And also, I really like the new stuff.
Yeah. He put up with Everest twice without complaining.
I looked more at stuff, like in detail. Mm-hmm. Last time I was just focused on my feet hurting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's good, though. I mean, that's exciting. So you mentioned a couple of stuff that wasn't there the first time, and we just talked about if it's better or not better. So we're in agreement that it's a lot better. What was your favorite thing that wasn't there last time you visited? Whether it be Star Tours changing screens, changing your ride out, or Pandora, Toy Story Land, anything.
You want to start, Kenna? Or
Right.
Garrett
Actually,
wants to let Garrett start.
I forgot to say something for the last question.
Go ahead.
The Tiki Room. I really like the new version because birds everywhere. I love it looking at birds, and the birds are singing actual words in their birds. So.
Okay. All right, but you kick us off. Favorite new thing? I think I know what you're gonna say.
Toy Story Land. Mm-hmm. It was really cool. I thought it was really immersive, and I felt like I was in a different park.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
The army men walking around was a cool thing to see. doing their thing because they're kind of the streetmosphere. They've got green army men walking around, and we saw a drum line of army men going by, and then there was, I don't know what they call them. They're like the fun crew. They're carrying like hula hoops and different things, and they go around and interact with people and play games.
That's nice.
That's
it was pretty cool. The army men was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so my new favorite thing is I love Captain Phasma and the First Order March and all the stormtroopers that walk around and interact with
really
people
cool.
and drag you up. One stormtrooper got really close up in my face and then went through my bag.
He did.
It was
really?
He searched her bag and pulled out lip gloss.
it was awesome. I really enjoyed that, and I think seeing Captain Phasma walk around and like fuss at the stormtroopers is awesome because I love Captain Phasma so much.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a good one.
An experience I had with those stormtroopers, I didn't know I forgot that I had an X-Wing t-shirt on, so they pulled me up and they said there were rumors of me supporting the rebellion, and I said they weren't true, and then he like pointed at my shirt.
And you were like, I don't know where I got this. Somebody made me put this on.
He came up with a good answer for it. He wanted to tell him it was stolen plans.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
a good one, see? And they would have been like all for you.
Yeah. Okay. My favorite new thing was probably, since we haven't mentioned it yet, the Void.
Okay.
The Star Wars VR experience.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
let me just tell you, I expected a lot from this because I've heard some people talk about it on other podcasts, talk about how mind-blowing the VR experience is and how it's just like you can't even describe it. And it's like some people talk about getting emotional at the end of it because you're so immersed in this world that you love. And I was like, all right, this is a lot of build-up. And it's not only that, it's what, like $30 a person, $35 a person?
Yeah, it's pretty pricey.
So I was like, it better live up because we got VR here at home, right?
Yeah.
We've got the Oculus here at home, so it better live up to it. It was such a cool experience. It would be, in my mind, it's right up there with Flight of Passage as being like transformative. Like you do this experience, for a minute you forget that you're in a park, you forget that you're in experience, at Disney World, and it's just like you are in the Star Wars world. And for a person like me who's been a Star Wars nerd as long as I can remember, it was such a cool experience, and it was totally worth it. I would do it again.
And it's y'all four. That's the
and it was the
part.
four of us. We were a
You're
squad.
not with strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that's my answer.
Yeah.
I really liked it because once I saw that it was Oculus, I expected a lot from it, and it exceeded those expectations because I thought we were going to have something that we put on our hands, but we didn't put anything on, but it still knew what our hands were doing.
Right.
Yeah.
So without spoiling anything, like you do put on a backpack and you wear a headset, but it sees your whole body and it knows how tall you are. So I'm looking around like Garrett is definitely a little short for a stormtrooper, and you're in stormtrooper costume. So you look around, that's Garrett because it's the smallest stormtrooper. But
and it gave Justin a big head, which makes sense.
I don't know why that happened. But apparently I had a bobblehead. But I don't want to spoil any of the story elements. But one of the things that I'll say, and other people have given examples of this, everything that you see, you can interact with, and it's actually there.
What about Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, I was going to say there's a moment where they put you in an elevator and they're like, the elevator's been locked by security. You've got to find a way to override it. If you look around the elevator, there are levers and buttons. Everything in there you can actually touch.
And y'all were able to get out of the elevator.
Yeah.
Did y'all complete the mission?
I think everybody does.
Yeah.
I don't think they would let you get stuck.
You didn't die?
But we didn't die. Yeah, we completed the mission.
But there are some pretty crazy things that happen that make you think that you're gonna die.
That little twist at the end that
Yeah.
you never saw coming that
Yeah.
showed up and you were like, what is this?
Yeah. Have you
can-
done it?
Yeah, I've done
Okay,
it before,
all right.
yeah.
Yeah, you can feel it, hear it, smell it.
Oh, yeah, the smell. It's like going
It's
through
crazy.
burning Rome in
The
Epcot.
feel is what's a little crazy.
Yeah, it's hot.
It gets hot and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really strange.
So do it. If you all are listening to this and you have not done that, it's so worth it. It's so worth your time.
Yeah, what are you waiting for?
Seriously, go. I mean, and Disney Springs was that's probably a good point. When we went, it was still downtown Disney. That was part of the brand new experience for us this time. We've never seen the fully realized Disney Springs, and that's amazing.
Yeah, it's huge. And by the way, I want to shop in every store there,
Yeah.
so it's kind of a problem.
Yeah, I imagine.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
would that be like your number one out of the park experience? Was Disney
Out of the
Springs?
park for sure.
Yeah, that was amazing. And they're like my favorite stores, like Anthropologie and Free People. And I'm like, oh, this shirt is so beautiful. $120.
Yeah. Pocket change.
Yeah.
So
I'm like, we'll put that back.
but aside from the shopping, what was your favorite new thing?
New thing. Well, I mean, you guys kind of hit on the things that I really like. Pandora, favorite new thing too. Just because it is so neat. It's so beautiful. I don't even like the movie, but that's really pretty.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of
Me
Avatar.
either, but I love Pandora.
Yeah, it's just amazing. It really is.
It is.
It's really cool. And the food in the area, they've really stepped up their food game.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
It's better. I know that Starlight Cafe, is that what that is? Where the guy...
You're talking about Cosmic Rays?
Cosmic Race, that thing. Like, those are some boring burgers.
They're not
you
good.
know?
The food's not good there. You don't go there for the food.
Yeah, the food-
You
Yeah.
go there for Sunny Eclipse. That's right.
But,
really
like,
liked it.
I go to things for food. And
Now, I will say, I've heard the Greek salad at Cosmic Rays is good, but we didn't get that.
It's fine. I don't know.
But yeah, we had some really good food for sure
Yeah.
this time. Yeah.
So y'all were there for 3 days, 3 park days,
We did 3 park days, yeah.
4 days at the resort.
We extended it out a little bit. So originally we were supposed to arrive on Wednesday and then check out on Sunday. So that would have been Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that would have been actually 5 days, 4 nights. We extended it out for a couple of funny reasons. We were previously in Savannah. We started our trip in Savannah, and Savannah just beat us up. We had maybe some sunburn incidents and maybe some jellyfish incidents.
Really? What?
And mosquitoes decided to make a dinner of McKenna. So,
Wow.
So we were all pretty done with the beach. And so the question just came into my mind, well, what if we just checked out early and headed on over to Pop Century a day early? So Sam went over to her Orange Theory class on Tuesday morning, and I just called, and I called the guest services. And I said, hey, we're supposed to be checking in tomorrow, but we would really like to go ahead and check in tonight if that's possible and extend the trip. And the cast member, she was like, oh, that would be amazing. And I was
Really?
like,
Oh, that's interesting.
that's what she said.
Huh.
And I was like, yeah, it would be. Can we do that? And she
Yeah.
was like, well, let me check it out. And she was like, yes, so I think she might have been new. I don't want to say that she was struggling without saying that I think she was pretty new to the system, but also she was telling me Stitch was in there making a mess of things. So
Yeah.
they were having some issues.
Happen.
They were having some issues with their system, but she was able to get it worked out. We checked in a day early, and actually that's why we ended up going to Magic Kingdom, because we weren't planning to go to Magic Kingdom at all.
Yeah.
So that ended up being 5 nights.
And you did a whole day at Magic Kingdom, or just the after hours?
Just the after hours.
Okay.
Yeah. Earlier that day, I actually had to work, and I had a big
Oh.
meeting. So, is that the day that I worked?
No,
all
you worked
day?
on the Disney Springs day.
Oh.
So what did you
Okay.
do during the day?
Well, we spent some time hanging out at Pop Century. We did some swimming in the Hippy Dippy pool.
No, I did work that day too.
You worked that day too.
Swimming was a big part of my trip because I love swimming, and I brought snorkels. They didn't let me use the snorkel part, but I got to swim underwater with the goggles.
Garrett, tell me how you felt about the Hippy Dippy pool in comparison with the Big Blue pool, because we've stayed at Art of Animation
Oh,
before, and I
yeah.
know you love the Big Blue pool.
I didn't like it as much because it didn't have underwater water.
Underwater water?
All water's
Underwater
Underwater wet.
music. I can't speak.
Underwater music, that's right. But you checked it, and you were disappointed to find out
Yeah.
no music
But there
underwater.
was some weird noise.
Maybe
kind of
jets or something.
The
Some kind of
hippy-dippies.
crackling. I think it was the drains.
Yeah. We did spend a lot of the day, like I know McKenna did some exploring.
Yeah, I did laps between Pop Century and the Art of Animation.
Oh, so
and,
you went on the lake?
yeah, but they were actually doing construction on. They were still refurbishing like the aerial area of Art of Animation, and one of the. We were in 50s, right?
Yeah. No,
What-
yes, we were in the 50s
Yeah,
building.
there was one 50s buildings that they were still working on. So it was kind of blocked off, so you couldn't make a complete lap around. So you had to go across the bridge where they're doing the work on the
Skyliner.
The Skyliner, yeah.
Yeah, and it is. It's just, that's one of the things I'm excited about, because it looks like the Skyliner station is just perfectly in the middle of the two resorts, right there on the Generation Gap Bridge. And I took a couple pictures. I haven't posted them yet on the Twitter. A couple construction pictures, but that was pretty neat. And I know that while we were swimming, we ate a couple times at the Pop Century Everything Pop cafeteria.
Yeah, that was cool.
We didn't spend any time in the arcade.
No,
we didn't end up doing that.
Arcade.
No, but what we did before we went in the Magic Kingdom, after everybody was done, because you did work a little bit. We were swimming, McKenna was exploring, but then when you were ready to go, we visited some other resorts.
Yes. Tell me about that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, since we're talking about resorts, I just want to say I totally understand why people don't go value and spend a little more on those fancy resorts.
The deluxe.
They're nice.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. It was crazy. What is the one that had the geyser?
That was the Wilderness Lodge.
That's so cool. Like, the pool looked fun. They had the frosé.
Right?
Yeah.
What was the one restaurant there that we were going to go to, but we ended up not going there?
Whispering Canyon?
Yes,
The one where they yell at you and stuff?
Yeah,
Not yell at you, but they get noisy.
Yes, I want to eat there.
She was
so
excited.
bad.
She was disappointed we didn't do that one.
That was cool. And the Polynesian is really nice. Is that where Trader Sam's is?
It sure is.
Yeah. So
gotta tell
Justin and McKenna were down at the restrooms and they were like, hey, that Trader Sam's restaurant is right around the corner. You should go in there and check it out.
Just walk in and
they
check
were
it
like,
out.
it's really cool. You got to go look at it. And I was like, okay. So I didn't realize what it was. I didn't realize I was going to walk in. There's a hostess there who's guarding everyone from entering. And I walked in and I looked at her and she looked at me and I was like, I thought it was just like a walk-in bar, And I was like, hey, and she goes, can I help you? And I said, because she obviously looked confused for a moment. And I said, well, my husband said I should come in here and check it out. And she said, you can't go past this line right here.
So check it out from back here.
I was like, oh, okay. And then I looked at her, and there was a guy behind me who was waiting for his table. She didn't help him until I left.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, that was awkward. Thanks for letting me look. And I walked out. And I was so frustrated. I was like, you guys, that was really embarrassing.
It's like the hardest place.
Yeah.
Well, now you've been to Beaches and Cream. It's like your next thing on your list is
Yeah.
heading to Trader Sam's.
Yeah.
It was really neat
It's cool looking.
though. And everyone sounded like they were having a good time.
Yeah.
And drinks were coming out and they were like, ah!
Yeah.
So,
It gets noisy in there, too.
yeah.
I just want to say, I definitely want to stay at the Contemporary next time.
Why
Definitely.
is that? Why is that?
Because it felt like an airport, and I love those.
It really does.
He
Yeah.
wants to stay in
I
there.
could see that.
Actually, it makes sense that he
I could
says
totally
that.
see that like an airport.
Seriously, I want to stay there. It was so cool. You can see Magic Kingdom from there,
Yep.
and you can also see the lake,
Yep.
and it smells nice in there.
So you guys went to Polynesian, you did the monorail loop.
We did. We didn't go to the Grand Floridian, though.
You didn't go.
That was the only one
good
we
choice.
didn't go into.
And then you did Wilderness
and we
Lodge.
did Wilderness Lodge, yeah.
So out of those three, Polynesian, Contemporary, Wilderness Lodge, which one was your favorite?
Wilderness Lodge. I want to stay there. It's really cool. I really like the theme of it all. And we should really stay there.
Yeah, well, essentially what happened, doing all the resort touring that we did, we have to add a whole bunch more trips in the near future
They
because
bit you in the back.
because
That's what it did.
because McKenna wants to stay Wilderness Lodge. Garrett definitely wants to go to the Contemporary. I have always had Polynesian on my bucket list, and I don't know where you've landed on, but
Well,
I don't know where you want to say.
my problem is I really think the Polynesian is cool, but there's threats everywhere.
pineapple
People
everywhere.
are carrying
yeah.
around whole pineapples and drinking from them. I'm like, don't touch me, Not that I think that I would have
You
an
don't
allergic
have a
reaction.
violent allergic reaction.
No, but
It's just mildly inconvenient.
it
It closes your throat up.
it just
Makes it hard to breathe.
it
Major.
makes it hard to breathe, so I get really sleepy.
Yeah.
And I don't talk or laugh even because it's taking everything I have not to fall asleep. And I assume that's the lack of oxygen, but I'm not really sure.
Let me ask you this though. What did you think? Because we got a chance to walk around Beach Club. Would you put it on the same level as the monorail resorts?
No. So the Beach Club is really pretty,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't feel Disney.
Okay. I can see that.
It's beautiful. It's such a nice place, but whenever I go, I want to see like Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck stuff. And although it's there to an extent,
It's a
they
little
make
more
it
hidden.
look like a sailboat kind of.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everyone who goes there is gonna wear a sailor's outfit.
They're all named
you know?
Muffy, and they wear their
their boat
ascots.
shoes. Yeah.
And they have a monocle.
Yeah.
That's a Landon thing.
It is.
And I don't know. It seemed like, although it's not the
you
most
felt like it-
expensive resort, it felt
It was
stuffy.
a little stuffy. That's what I was going to say. You felt like it was
Yeah.
stuffy.
Well, if you felt Beach Club was stuffy,
Don't go Grand Floridian.
don't go to Grand Floridian.
Oh, okay. Good to know. I mean, I'll admit, I'm like silly. I like cartoons and I'll run around and I'll like chase my kids through a hotel going, "Rah!" you know, and
Oh,
all
it
of
was
those
you
people.
out there in the hall keeping me up.
Yeah,
Late at night,
probably. And all those people in that resort, they look like they tell their kids all the time, "Oh, don't overreact to things." And all they did was laugh a little, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just so stuffy.
It's a different kind of vibe.
So, I also want to stay at Wilderness
Okay.
next time or Contemporary.
Or both. We should do a split vacation.
Split stay.
Next time we need to stay at the French Quarters and a Tiana room.
You want to stay in the
Yes.
princess
Okay.
room.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
We
And
didn't get to visit those, but she sold on them anyway.
that's the winner right there. We have a winner.
I think, and plus it's like a mid value, so it'd be a good
It's a
next
moderate,
step.
yeah.
Moderate. That's what I
We've
couldn't think of.
we've stayed there. We stayed at Riverside, which has Tiana touches to it. There's Tiana pictures. I'm a huge Tiana fan. My favorite princess. So there's we made sure there's Tiana touches, but French Quarter is on my bucket list. So when you guys go stay at French Quarter, I'm just gonna hop in the truck
All right.
and just stay
Just
in
come
the truck.
along.
Just
come
come
along
with us.
Just, we'll just take a U-Haul. This
Sounds
time.
good.
In the back of the U-Haul.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I didn't change my opinion. I want to stay Polynesian. I really do. I love the Contemporary, but I've stayed there twice.
Oh, okay.
I would definitely do it again, but I would like a different experience. Wilderness Lodge, I'll tell you this. I'm glad I got to visit it because I think a lot more of it now than I did before I ever stepped into it.
Yeah.
And it's
It is
gorgeous.
really cool.
And I love the pool area. Geyser Point is awesome.
Yeah, that was so neat. But
they
I
do
started getting
s'mores.
wet,
Yeah.
and my hair was already a wreck because of Florida.
Well, I mean, like where you got your frosé, that's Geyser Point.
yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
And then whenever the geyser went off, I started getting misted with
I know,
more.
but that was away from Geyser Point. That's what I'm saying. Geyser Point is the lounge. That's what it's called.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I knew that's.
I thought he was talking about the actual
The
geyser.
actual geyser. Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing that was kind of cool about that though is that day we ended up doing like all the Disney transportation because we rode a bus.
Not the minivan.
No, we didn't do the minivan. We rode a bus to Magic Kingdom. We took the boat to Wilderness Lodge, and then we took the boat to Contemporary, and then monorailed the rest of the way.
Oh, okay.
So we got multiple transportation, and McKenna actually has started a collection of cards because
Because you told me to.
well,
No, but I have the gold monorail and I've got monorail black.
yeah,
And
I thought
they're
you had
really
red.
cool.
yeah,
No,
it's black.
it's the black one.
So we found out before we went that if you any of the monorail or any of the Disney transportation places, you can ask like a bus driver, a monorail attendant, or like the captains of the boat, stuff like that, for cards, and they have trading cards that they'll
Really?
give you for free.
What?
Yeah,
And apparently they just got a whole ton, so all of the transportation people have one.
Really?
yeah.
That's crazy.
So
I
you
never even
can,
heard
and
about that.
apparently there's what did they say? Did they say there were like 30
There
monorail
are
cards?
37, I think. It's
Yeah.
on the card. I'll have to look later.
Yeah, and we only have 2 monorail cards, but they have one for every color, and I guess they have more than that.
I've never even heard about that.
Yeah.
I didn't ask the bus drivers
So,
or the boat people for them.
This,
so.
yeah, we didn't think of it, but of course, hey, this is a monorail podcast. We thought about it for the monorail.
Yeah, you did the one that matters.
But we walk up there, and it came to my mind while we were waiting on the monorail to go over to the Polynesian, and I was like, hey, we need to ask these guys if they have the transportation cards. So there was a guy standing in front of us, and I said, hey, do you have the monorail transportation card? And he said, well, I don't. And I was like, okay, that was a weird way to answer.
But who does?
And then he said, but you could ask other people. And there was a guy right beside him, and I was like, okay, do you have the monorail cards? And he shook his head, no. And I was like, all right, then.
What are you getting at, dude?
So then there was another guy that was just a little ways down from us, and he was like, hold on a second. And he walked down and talked to him and brought us back a card because we were kind of blocked. We couldn't get to him. And he said, he said, which one do you have? And I said, oh, we don't have any of these. We just started. He was like, well, I think he has the whole deck. So you need to talk to him about it.
Really?
We didn't talk to
We
him,
ended
though.
up
We
not
could
being
have
able
gotten
to.
the entire deck.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's a cool experience if you guys want to do that. It's one of those free souvenir kind of things, and I'm all about that.
Yeah.
So y'all did, you spent a day at Hollywood Studios, a day at Animal Kingdom, and then Magic Kingdom after hours, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So, and you went to Disney Springs for one day. You explored the resorts for one day.
Yep.
Overall, what was your... I know, did you get to do everything at Magic Kingdom? What did you not get to
everything, because some of the stuff wasn't open.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, tell me about that, because I've never done the after hours event. I've done like hard ticket event, but not the after hours event.
So they give you these lanyards, right? And if you look at the back of the lanyard, it actually has a list of everything that's open.
Oh, okay.
So some of the things aren't open. Like, for example, like Magic Carpets of Aladdin are not open. Like, you can't do that.
I don't think anybody's missing
But
that.
right, exactly. Who really cares?
All the big rides are open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say it did not list the TTA on the lanyard, but it ran all night.
Okay.
So I rushed us to go do the TTA before the park closed, and then it didn't matter. It was running.
It was fun.
Oh, I love the TTA.
Yeah.
I always got to do the people mover. But like Carousel of Progress was closed, so
That's
we
okay.
didn't get to do. I love Carousel.
I wanted to do it.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do the treehouse, the Swiss Family treehouse. And
That's
you said,
okay that we
That's
No,
probably the
let's
first
not
time I've
do
ever
it.
heard anybody say that.
it's a staple of the Magic Kingdom. It's one of the original
You could have gone
things.
while
You
I
need
was
to
using
do
the
it.
bathroom.
That's great. That's actually
It's a
great that
staple.
you're about that. That's
She
great,
is.
because there needs to be more people.
Oh,
like
I
that.
found out on
Right.
Twitter.
I'm not.
I found out on Twitter there are a lot of supporters of the Swiss Family Treehouse.
All right, so a thing about that day going to Magic Kingdom, I loved it, except a thing before it kind of, it made me not very happy.
Yeah.
So I was in a good mood. I was very excited for what was going to happen. So I was like dance walking. So I held out my hand and a leaf landed on it. So I swatted the leaf away because I didn't want that on my hand. But it was not a leaf. It was a wasp, and it bit me. And it hurt really
What?
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At night?
No, it
No,
was during the day.
Oh.
We were going to Magic Kingdom.
Oh, and it's still sunny at that point because
Yeah.
it's before 7 o'clock.
Right.
Oh, no.
And they were trying to get medical for him, but I was like, he'll be okay, you know.
I would have been like, can I get
I
fast
had
passes for
never
this?
been
Yeah.
stung by a bee or bitten by a wasp or anything, but I was paranoid of them forever. So now
Yeah.
it's even worse.
Yeah, this was the worst thing that could have happened because Garrett is so paranoid. Anytime there's anything flying near him, he freaks out.
Same.
And I'm always like, dude, chill out. They're not interested in stinging you or biting you. It's only if you swat at them or something that they're going to mess with you. So here he is just dancing towards the Magic Kingdom and for no reason gets stung
Yeah,
by
he
a
didn't
wasp.
do anything.
Yeah, see, the theory has been disproven.
I
Wasps
know.
are evil.
It ruined it, yeah. So that was the least magical thing that happened for Garrett.
Yeah.
I went and grabbed one of my after hours lanyards because I was thinking on the back of it it had the rides listed,
I
but
didn't
actually
think
it doesn't.
did, yeah.
But I know they gave us a brochure when we walked in there, and it actually had everything
Oh,
listed.
okay.
So actually the only restaurants that stay open are Casey's
and
and
Pecos
Pecos. Are you sure it was Pecos Bill?
what? I'm pretty sure.
No. Oh, it said Casey's and the Main Street Bakery are the only.
That's it?
Those are the only full service restaurants that stay open.
It's all popcorn
The rest
and
of
ice
it's
cream.
popcorn, ice cream, and sodas.
I feel
Yeah,
like that'd probably get a little old after like hour 4.
I
right.
don't know. We were so busy running to the next
So
ride.
y'all were just
Yeah.
like beat bopping around.
Yeah, we were.
Actually, like, I don't know. We rode really everything that I remember really wanting to ride.
Oh, I want to talk about one thing because I know we're starting to run a little bit out of time. So I wanted to say this: we did do the Memory Maker package,
Yes.
and so we made
Oh,
sure
yeah.
to stop at every single photographer that we saw to get pictures. We got the ride pictures. We ended up with something like 270 pictures.
a lot. It's a good amount.
So
And they
you
make
get it with your
3 days.
You get it with your annual pass, right? It's included.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you get the videos, like they'll make videos for you, and you get all your ride pictures.
And you can edit those and add like little borders around them
And
too.
stickers and stuff. Yeah. I'll show you how to do it if you want to do that.
Yeah, that's
McKenna,
pretty cool. So you talked about, this is a perfect segue. You talked about photographers and Memory Maker. One of the things that's included with Memory Maker is the character meets.
Yeah.
Please tell me you did some character meets.
Oh my gosh, we did.
Okay,
and
perfect.
I got to tell you, another check off the bucket list is we got to meet Chewbacca, and I definitely got a Wookiee hug.
Was it just top notch?
It was a special moment in my life that I will never forget. But talk about your sad moment.
I'm a little sad.
Okay. Why is that?
I love Kylo Ren.
Okay.
I
yeah.
love his temper tantrums and stuff. I think it's hilarious. And I love the actor. I watched him when he did HBO Girls.
Yep.
Like, I love Adam Driver.
What a
and
hunk.
so,
Gosh. My
and
God.
so we walked in there and we start taking pictures with Kylo Ren. And then
Which I want to say, by the way, is an awkward interaction.
it was really
Extremely
weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
I wanted to have fun with Kylo Ren because I think that I wanted to bond with him over our love for Darth Vader, but that did not happen. It was
And he
weird
wants
talking
none
to
of that.
him.
Yeah, and so like I got to take my picture with him
Solo, by yourself.
by myself. Yeah, we walk out and we get the notification that we've got new pictures, and it looks like I'm standing by myself.
Yeah, because he's so far away.
Not only that, it's
No.
dark.
Yeah.
He looks invisible in our pictures.
The lady, I don't know if her camera was messed up or something, but I know other people have pictures that you can actually see him.
No, like but a lot of, like, even mine are like a little, like,
It looks like there's like a little silver streak from where his face mask is, but there's nobody there.
Yeah.
I'm just standing by myself.
Just
in
hanging
the
out.
room.
It looks like that picture with Winnie the Pooh sitting down and it's like dark all around him. It looks like you're just
Oh,
there.
from
Yeah,
the ride
yeah.
where he's floating.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to find it because I want you to see it.
So you got to meet Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Did you think that he was on a recorder? Because I have this theory that, like, he's on a recorder, but then partially I don't think that he is.
No, I think it was
We were
recorded.
trying to figure out how it works. So and this was my observation from the stormtroopers, because obviously the stormtroopers all have the same voice.
Yep.
So here's the thing. I noticed a couple of times that when the stormtroopers were doing their interactions, it would say something like, "We need to move on from this sector." Mm-hmm. But then the guy would do this hand motion like "no," and it would say negative. I think
the guy
it has,
that's with them.
I think it has something to do with the hand gestures.
That's a good idea, because I've never even, whenever, like, I'm meeting Kylo Ren, I don't even pay attention to anybody else there besides him. Oh my, that's actually really bad.
Yeah,
I've
you
never
can't
seen it
even
that bad.
see him.
I would be like, I want my money back.
I mean, I was so disappointed.
I've never seen it that bad before. Like,
It
it's
just
all of you.
looks-
It's just like, oh, everybody's there. And
There's no Kylo
why are we
Ren.
taking a picture in front of this backdrop? That's horrible. I feel really bad.
Yeah, I was
Gosh,
so sad.
That's heartbreaking.
I mean,
Yeah. So but we found out because we have the Chase Rewards, Disney Rewards
oh,
card.
yeah, you got that private thing.
So they have a
too.
private thing, but we went and talked to the guy, and we had already done the interaction with Chewie, Kylo, and BB-8. So we went and talked to the cast member, and he said, "Have you already met all these characters?" And we said yes, and he was like, "This is going to be very similar to what you already did." So we didn't do it, but I tried to talk her into it because I was like, "You need new Kylo pictures."
Yeah.
We should have done it.
literally. Mm-hmm.
it's okay.
Originally, for a while, it was Darth Vader back there.
I know.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
so
no,
sad.
I'm so sad.
Yeah. Oh, I'll show you something after we're done. That'll make
Yeah.
you even more sad.
Yeah, that would have been really cool. But
Thanks, Kevin.
but I will say, like, so Garrett, his favorite character is Donald.
So I love Donald, so I had a Donald Duck pin. So whenever I handed him my autograph book and the pin, he was very happy about the pin, and he hugged me. And then McKenna came out with a Goofy pin, and he did not like that.
No. He's very jealous.
He wouldn't take it.
Very jealous. So which Donald did you meet? You met him at...
Dino Bash.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so you met the Dino Bash Donald.
Yeah.
Did you get to meet all the characters at Dino Bash?
did.
Yeah.
Awesome.
yeah.
They all liked the Donald pin except Chip and Dale.
Yeah, they were not a fan of the Donald pin.
Unbelievable. But you got to meet Scrooge and
Well,
met
Goofy
Launchpad.
Scrooge.
didn't like the Donald pin.
Goofy just wanted to use his own
yeah.
pin.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, and McKenna's favorite is Goofy.
Yeah, I love Goofy, and he was really cool at the Dino Bash. And Daisy was awesome too.
Daisy was cool.
Yeah, Daisy was awesome, and she had the design board for all of the costumes on
That
the
was
back.
neat.
It was great.
Yeah, the Dino Bash area. So we were actually there early. So we weren't there for the dance party that they do later, but
You didn't miss much.
but getting to meet the characters, like there was no line for Launchpad or Scrooge.
Really?
We didn't have to wait for them.
And we
lucky.
jumped right in for Chip and
Oh,
Dale
yeah, Chip
too.
and Dale,
Like,
there
we
wasn't a
just
line.
walked up.
But then, as soon as we walked away, there was a really long line. for
Yeah, that's
them.
how it was when we went. It was too long. We needed to meet Scrooge, and we waited like 30 minutes
there was
for
nobody
Launchpad.
there for us.
Yeah, it
The
was
longest
crazy.
waits were Donald and Goofy, and actually Donald wasn't long. Goofy was the longest.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, but he was fun. We had a good time with the Goofster.
The Goofster.
Yeah, so, I love the character interaction. The thing is, the Kylo Ren one was so weird because I always feel like the characters always do. They can do a good job rolling with whatever you present them. I don't know that they can do that with Kylo.
Yeah. Well,
It's
maybe I don't know because it's been weird. It's been weird because when I went in June, I had my Kylo Ren shirt on.
yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, you're with the First Order, yada yada," and he actually like said stuff that I've never heard before.
Okay.
And that's why it made me ask if you think it's recorded because I was like, up until then,
didn't
I
talk
was like,
much.
it's recorded.
It's definitely pre-programmed responses,
Yeah.
but they have a way to trigger it. And we were curious about it because if you watch them, they definitely know what they're going to say because they'll do like head motions and stuff that go along with it. So there has to be a way. Oh, sorry, this is another one of those things I should have said. Pay no attention to this because we're ruining some of the magic.
No.
But they definitely have a way to trigger the phrases that they want to say. I feel like they have to.
Oh, I guess we are ruining the magic.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to,
Spoiler.
well, so we had a weird experience with Chewie though.
Yeah, a little bit. It was.
Something happened, and I don't know what happened, but like I'm blaming McKenna
No.
because when we went in to meet Chewie, you know how don't listen to this if you don't want the magic ruined. You know how they have multiple rooms for the characters? So we walk in and they close the door behind us. And we're waiting. We're like the next family to go. And McKenna leans up against the wall and it slides. And
Yeah, I opened up a hidden room on accident.
gosh.
so then she like stepped up and closed it really fast. And
No,
nobody's.
I didn't close it. Someone behind the door closed it.
Oh, okay.
Whenever it slid
I didn't
open a
know
little,
that.
and I was like, I'm going to Disney jail.
So when it was our time to go to Chewie, he actually walked to the cast member, Chewie's friend, and he was trying to tell them something. And she was like, "What's going on?" And they ended up walking around a corner. And they stopped and talked for a second. And then, like, they came back. And Chewie, didn't he kind of seem, like, skeptical at first when we walked in with us? And then he kind of waved us over. But at first, he was kind of looking at us.
He was
Yeah,
like,
it
"You're the
was-
one who messed up the play."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was weird, and it was a total accident, you know.
Yeah.
So-
you caught Chewie changing.
Something like I don't know what it was, but
That's
then
crazy.
But then he it definitely got better and it loosened up. But at first it felt really awkward because the cast member couldn't quite understand what he was trying to say, and then even after they had a little sidebar, she came back and she was like, "Okay, I think I know what you're trying to tell me." And they actually brought in someone from another room to come talk to him.
Really?
Yeah, it was weird.
That's so weird. That's
It was
never
really
happened
strange.
before that I've seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, and I'm not so sure that it was.
I don't think it was McKenna's fault. There was something
Yeah.
else going on.
Something-
There had to have been.
Maybe he peed his pants or something.
He really had to go, and there was a long family.
Chewie doesn't wear pants.
Yeah.
His fur. He peed his
He
fur.
peed Well, was your BB-8 working at least?
Yeah, it worked.
Okay, see, our BB-8 it didn't work.
It worked. It was
It was
beeping
that-
and looking around.
That actually is probably the number one most like awkwardest.
It is
beep,
weird.
because
I
it's
agree.
like, especially when he's not like. It's weird if he's working. Imagine him not working. It's like,
Oh,
I just waited 20 minutes to see this thing that doesn't even move.
I expected him to actually like roll around the room, but
No,
he was
he's
just on
stationary.
that.
I will say, we didn't go meet Star-Lord and Groot. And I'll tell you, it's just because there's no way that could live up to Chris Pratt in my mind.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
So-
it would be.
But Baby
really
Groot is so
hard.
Groot would be cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we didn't do that.
So no Guardians.
No Guardians. Those were really, like, mainly our interactions were in Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom. We didn't do anything in Magic Kingdom.
Well,
meet
there
Rafiki?
really wasn't time.
We didn't meet Rafiki because by the time we were going to go to Rafiki's Planet Watch,
closed.
it was closed.
Yeah. What about Timon?
We didn't meet Timon. We met Pocahontas.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that works.
Yeah.
That was cool.
We did Festival of the Lion King, and those don't want to ruin anything. Those puppets were really cool.
Yeah. So you've done Festival of Lion King? I know you have. Yeah. So what he's talking about is the ones that are on the floats.
The animatronic.
Yes, yeah.
I really felt like Simba was there. Simba is one
Oh,
of
yeah.
my favorite characters.
Did it make you cry a little bit? It makes me cry every time.
Almost.
There's definitely a puppeteer working with him because he bops along with the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he watches the bird lady
Yep.
fly up.
Yeah.
And the majority of the time, I'm just sitting there looking at him and not looking at... So, you did Festival of Lion
We
King,
did.
a.k.a. the greatest show Disney's ever made.
Debatable.
So, what was your favorite part of it?
Go ahead.
I really like the Scar part where they have the guy come out and he's Scar and they're throwing fire around.
Yes.
It's so cool.
That was neat. The guy did the fire twirling too.
Yeah, and then
Yep.
he set
That
it
was
on
pretty-
his feet.
And his
And
face.
The fire, it was just sitting there.
And it's crazy.
Yeah, that was
It's
cool.
So beautiful.
I would have to agree. That's a good part. The monkeys are cool when they're doing their trapeze stuff.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool
Yeah.
too. That was a good show. I'm going to tell you, I differ with you on this one because I really think the Finding Nemo show is the best show. It might be the best show, non spectacular show in all of Disney. I love the Nemo musical. I know you don't like it.
I'm heartbroken.
I know you don't like it, but I love it. You're not a fan, really.
It's cute.
I thought it was great.
It's not Festival of the Lion
I
King.
thought it was pretty cool, but Festival of the Lion King is way better because The Lion King is one of my early childhood movies.
So was Nemo.
Actually, Nemo
wasn't-
actually is your early child.
Nemo wasn't as big for me.
Well.
Nemo was
If there was
McKenna's
a-
first movie.
If there was a Wall-E show, that would be the show for Garrett because that was his first theater movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Wall-E is great. I really appreciate it.
There should be a Ratatouille show, and I stand by that. More Ratatouille in the parks.
The parks. You're
More
getting more.
Ratatouille.
He's
More.
coming to France.
And more Muppets. The Muppet Show's really
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Muppet
You guys
Show's
actually
one of my
like the Muppet
favorite.
Show?
We like
We
the
did it
Muppet
twice.
Vision 3D. Well, it was funny. We were walking over towards the Muppet Vision Theater, and a guy stopped us. He's like, "Hey, do you want to go see the Muppet?" It was almost like a creepy, like in,
Yes.
in
I
an
love when
alley
that happens,
situation.
though. Yeah.
He was like, "Do you guys want to go see the Muppets?" I got fast passes, and he gave them to. It was a cast member.
Oh,
We
okay.
didn't need fast passes. No one was waiting for the Muppets.
Yeah.
All right.
it's just a way to draw people in.
It was.
I've got two things I can rant about. Ratatouille and the Muppets.
Yeah.
I ranted about the whole time. They have so much that they can do with it. I know they're
So much
doing
more,
more.
yeah.
But in Hollywood studios, I feel like they're letting the Muppets area go.
Go away.
She's worried
Yeah.
that it's gonna get taken
In the-
over by the Star Wars stuff and everything.
The Rizzo
Pizza Rizzo.
Pizza Rizzo. It's not as
It's
good as it could
disappointing.
be. It's not as good as it could
You guys
be.
don't like Pizza Rizzo?
The food's fine.
the food's
It
good.
could have
the
been
food is fine, but
so much more.
I think what the issue with that we saw with it is that the theming is so subtle. The Muppet theming is so
Yeah.
subtle.
It could be so much more. They could have like Muppet rats on like the
Moving
shape,
around
like-
up there and stuff like that.
There's so much they could do, or they can just do a whole new restaurant. And I have so many ideas.
Oh, yeah.
Disney, please contact
Wait,
me.
tell the one about Kermit. I feel like this is the best idea.
So it's like a country style like swamp,
Okay.
and it's Kermit's food restaurant.
Kermit's back porch.
Yeah,
is what you're
Kermit's back porch, and you can get frog legs and like southern like comfort food.
Okay.
And you got Kermit playing the banjo,
Yeah.
playing Rainbow
And they
Kid.
can have
Yep.
all of like the frogs around. And it could be a whole thing.
I think that's a great
I love
idea.
it.
I think you should just
Another idea.
shoot Bob an email.
I've got two ideas. It's that one and then Miss Piggy's buffet.
Everything's food related. I'm catching that.
I
The
love
food at Hollywood Studios is lacking, and McKenna's here to save it.
Yeah.
And McKenna, for her Mickey ears, she actually
Miss
got
Piggy.
Miss Piggy ears.
Yeah.
They're not
down
over there.
here.
I
I
can
was
show
like,
you.
oh, yeah.
They're mine.
We'll have to share a picture on Twitter so
Yeah, we
everyone
will.
can see.
Miss
'cause
Piggy
they're
ears.
pretty
I've never
awesome.
seen them.
Yeah.
No one had.
I've
she
never
was-
seen Miss Piggy ears.
Even cast members were like, "Where did you get those?"
Where did
Yeah.
you get them?
They're actually
They're
in the Muppet store,
Oh,
but
really?
there's only one little place, and there are about like 10 there.
Really?
Yeah, and I got one.
That's the new thing. Better than rose gold, millennial pink.
It could be.
It's at Pizza Rizzo's, the lady was like, "Did someone make those for you?" And I was like, "No, they're right over there in the store."
No, your company sells them.
right over there.
Right there.
So speaking of buying stuff,
Yep.
Y'all, I'm assuming you got merchandise.
Yep.
What was your favorite piece of merchandise that you've got?
Garrett's
I will
jumping
be
in.
right back.
Oh,
Garrett
he's gonna
paused.
it's gonna be show and tell. So you tell, what was your favorite thing that you got?
So I got the rose gold Spirit jersey.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's so cute.
I'm excited. So the reason this is awesome is because the whole time when we were planning this vacation, she was looking forward to getting rose gold ears. We get down there and she's like, every freaking teenager has rose gold ears. I don't want the rose gold
I
ears.
didn't want to look like the kids running around. I already look like a kid.
Yeah.
I don't need to have the ears that they're wearing.
So then when we were in Disney Springs, we were at World of Disney, which still being refurbished. It's not totally open yet. And she was looking at Spirit jerseys and she wasn't totally sold on the rose gold. But I'm so glad that you did do that because
Yeah, it was exactly what I wanted. And whenever I put it on, I wore some leggings with it. It looked really good. I look super cute in it. I'm just going to say. I was like, look at me. I felt good.
Yeah.
So it was fun. And it's my favorite. Although I have some serious regrets about not getting there at Rock and Roller Coaster. There were a couple of tank tops that are Star Wars tank tops. McKenna and I were going to get them. And I didn't want to buy my Disney souvenirs too early. So I was like, they keep having the same shirts everywhere. We'll find them. They're nowhere.
Yeah.
And I can't even find them online. And I'm seriously, like, I'm in so much regret. I think I'm going to call the Rock and Roller
And see if
Coaster.
they'll just ship it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll pay for it.
You can try. It never hurts to try.
I really want them now, and
Give
I'm
it a shot.
so disappointed, and I'm so sorry, McKenna.
All right, I'm back with the thing that I love. I got a limited magic band. There are only 5,000 of them in the world.
Yep.
And they come with their own box. It's a big red box with the character on it. I got an Infus Nest magic band.
Yeah.
And whenever in Hollywood Studios, if you scan it on
The fast
on
pass.
a fast pass thing, well, it does it with everything.
Okay.
Except the entry. If you scan it and it's one of the ones with a Mickey head on it, it glows purple a few times and makes like cool like lightsaber sounds.
Oh, so yours glows purple.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's
pretty
pretty cool.
neat.
Yeah.
And when he bought it, he knew that it would do a special effect on when he scanned his magic band, but he thought it would happen everywhere, and I did too. I didn't know how it worked.
Yeah.
So, of course, we went to Animal Kingdom,
And didn't
and
do
it
it.
never did it, and he
Yeah.
was so disappointed. So then he did some research on it and found out it worked at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, yeah.
And it certainly did.
They're smart.
Yeah.
They make the ones, Hollywood Studios only works at Hollywood Studios. Magic
Yeah.
Kingdom only works at Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
They're
So
smart about it.
That was pretty neat, and I think that made it work for him. What about you, McKenna? What was your favorite thing?
Okay, so it's between my Miss Piggy ears
Mm-hmm.
and the coffee we got because
gosh.
I'm obsessed with it.
It's
great.
so good.
I couldn't it was really weird because I kept smelling the bag the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It was so good. Like the whole time we were at the freaking gift shop, I was like pressing because there's a little hole that you can press and then coffee smell comes out. And I look like a big weirdo.
I mean,
probably.
I'm totally like casual about it because I do that at the regular coffee at like Starbucks. I just grab the bag, just like smell the bag.
It was so good.
So the funny piece of this story is that we bought that the day we were going to the after hours party at Magic Kingdom. So we ended up carrying the coffee with us the rest of the night
To Magic Kingdom.
and we would be in line, like we were in line for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and I was like, I smell coffee.
Yeah, I kept going, coffee.
And it's like secretly waking you up a little bit. You're like, coffee. I'm awake. I'm good.
Well,
I'm good.
I kept thinking, someone has coffee, and then I'm like, oh, it's us. And it's whole
It ended up
beans.
getting each one of us, I think, once, and then someone else had to be like, by the way, you're carrying coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my favorite thing that I got was a new mug. I got a new coffee mug.
Oh, okay.
And I was going to get one that had the new animation style for like the Mickey and Minnie cartoons.
Yep.
And it was pretty neat. But I ended up going with a Pop Century mug because I've decided now that that's what I'm going to collect from the resorts that we stay at. I'm going to get a mug from each resort.
We're going to need bigger cabinets.
I very nearly ended up buying a Wilderness Lodge mug because it was awesome looking. But I was like, but we're not staying here. I haven't earned it yet.
It wouldn't be worth it. It would be the same.
So I bought a Pop Century mug, and I'm really happy that I did. I was going to buy a new Tower of Terror mug because I had one years ago that I broke, and it was my favorite mug. But they didn't have one that was exactly like what I was looking for, so I didn't do that. But yeah, I'm going to say my mug. Even though I got 2 new shirts, I'm wearing one of them.
Yeah, I see that now.
My Pirates of the Caribbean shirt, and I got a Haunted Mansion one. We were sad they closed Memento Mori.
Yeah,
before we could get in there.
Oh, they do because they close the stores. That sucks.
Yeah, so we didn't get to go in Memento Mori because that's where I was going to get some Haunted Mansion merch.
That's dumb.
Hey, the eye still looked at us.
Oh yeah, the eye over Memento Mori looked at us, but yeah. So I'm going with the mug. I'm a coffee fiend.
Yeah. So that's good.
Yep.
So you said you're going to go back.
Yep.
Do we have an ideal date?
Round?
Well, next year?
Or are you leaning towards that big purchase
like
the annual passes?
The AP? I would love to do that.
Yeah.
No.
I would love to do that.
Yes.
I would say while we're there, we very nearly became DVC owners while we were there.
That's what I was about to ask too.
So. We are really, really interested in DVC. Just because I know that it's something that our family likes to do. We're not really sure if we're ready yet because we are making plans for stuff. So I think next year we really want to get
really start
serious
thinking about it
and talk about it. And Justin said one of the things I want to make sure that doesn't happen is I only get stuck going to, Disney World.
For every vacation.
Florida, for everything.
Yeah.
So as long as it's open to maybe cruise possibilities, like I know there's Hawaii, California, some of the other places, even the international ones, I'd be a little more interested, but I just don't want to get trapped.
Yeah.
And we have a big trip planned for next year. Okay. McKenna is graduating from high school. It's her senior year.
Are we not going to Paris?
So that's our big trip is we were planning on going to Italy and make a trip over to Paris and go to Disney there.
So that may be the next Disney park we go to.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Remy the Rat and Quasimodo.
Yeah.
Two of the OGs in my world.
And can I please do this for a moment and just make McKenna probably feel a little embarrassed? While we were watching the Magic Kingdom, Happily Ever After, she started crying.
So did you guys like it?
Once Quasimodo came out, tears started coming down because it was Remy the Rat and then it was Quasimodo going up and singing about how he wants to live with everyone else, and I was like, oh no. I cried like 3 times during that.
The emotions.
That show, I got to tell you, I'm a big fan of Wishes. I actually always loved Wishes, but I Happily Ever After I think is a fitting replacement, and I love what they're doing with the projection on the castle. It's
amazing.
There are a couple holy crap moments in that show. One of them being when Genie launches one of the towers from the castle. Yeah. Holy moly, that was awesome.
Yeah,
and then
it was crazy.
I thought the Moana piece was really cool, because the fireworks they used during that piece are neat.
Every kid started singing whenever Moana came on, and that gave me chills. I was like, these kids are so immersed.
So where were you at as for the?
It wasn't a great viewing spot.
Except he held me up, and
not on my shoulders. I let him do a piggyback ride.
I was about to say,
not on my shoulders. It was a piggyback ride.
It was really cool
because Garrett couldn't see anything. So what happened was. I'm so stupid. I was like, listen, we can squeeze in a Haunted Mansion ride before we go find our spot for Happily Ever After.
What time was this?
It was like 8:50.
Oh gosh.
so we get on Haunted, because we had fast passes for Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
So we got on Haunted Mansion. We get off. When we got off Haunted Mansion, it was like 9:05, right around then.
Yeah.
So we immediately started booking. Well, if you're coming from that spot, every possible access to the hub is blocked.
Yeah.
They make you go all the way around to Tomorrowland, and then you have to go through that back passage to the end of Main Street, and then come back.
Yeah. Which is a chaos at that time.
It was insane, and we barely made it to the... We made it to like the bakery.
Edge of where the bakery
Main Street
is.
bakery.
There's like
Not bad,
ice cream place right there. Or something.
And so we scooted out towards the middle, but people were holding their phones up. People had kids on their shoulders. Garrett couldn't see a thing because he's a little dude. So I did the piggyback ride. I told him I wasn't going to put him on my shoulders. We did the piggyback ride so he could see, but I know McKenna was kind of blocked. Which I will say for this show, it kind of sucks if you can't see what's going on in the castle. I mean, that's half the show.
Yeah.
So
one of the things that we've done, that we've done in the past is, which I know you didn't have the time to do it or the days, but it's, you see Happily Ever After 3 times. You see it from Polynesian Beach, and you focusing only on the fireworks. Then you see it from like right in front of the castle, which you're not going to see the fireworks that well, but you see the projections really good.
Yeah.
And then you see it from kind of like where you were at. Maybe one of the cast members told me like the ideal viewing point is adjacent to Casey's Corner.
Okay.
And just right
we were
there
almost
in the middle.
there.
So you're almost there.
Yeah.
Because it slants up.
So
you're kind of slanted up right there.
And it would have been fine if it weren't for the fact that there were just so many tall people in
Yeah,
front of us.
and like during the middle of the show, even it had been going on for a little while. Like there's this giant man who just stepped right in front of me and McKenna. Like he came off the sidewalk and just stepped right in front of us, and I was thinking, whoa, you're way taller than we are. Like you're blocking this.
That's
completely.
where it loses a lot of the magic is with people doing that.
Well, we said more than once.
The problem with Disney is people.
Yeah.
It's just, oh gosh.
Not the cast members.
No.
Oh my gosh, they
actual
make
people.
the cast members make it better.
Yeah.
Like they're helping the atmosphere, but man, those people, they're crazy.
So we're tied now because on the last trip, Sam got ran over by a stroller. Happened to me this time.
Yeah.
I got jumped on, so I beat both of you.
Oh my god, that was insane.
Some guy
jumped on.
Some guy was trying to jump over a rope, and he landed on top of me
McKenna.
and fell.
Like freaking WWE off the top rope. Here's what happened. Here's what happened. This was after Happily Ever After. We're trying to get over to Tomorrowland, and of course it's insane because a lot of people are leaving the park at that time.
Because you have the after hours.
So we're trying to cross traffic, right?
Yeah.
So we get over to Tomorrowland Terrace, and we're passing, and he was in the area of Tomorrowland Terrace, comes running and jumps over a chain, lands on top of McKenna.
A grown man?
A grown man.
I didn't fall, though. He fell, and I didn't realize what happened, so I was like, oh my gosh, are you okay?
Yeah,
you just fell.
McKenna starts apologizing, and I'm like, what are you apologizing to him
I didn't
for?
know what happened.
And he gets up, and he was obviously, like, he hurt himself. He was stunned.
Yeah. And I think he was drunk.
The lady that was with him came back and apparently apologized. I didn't hear it,
Yeah,
but I was standing there
said-
waiting to hear an apology and never heard anything.
She
so.
said that she was sorry that he was a little torn up, and I was like,
Okay, he just landed on a child.
yeah.
He was really torn up. That Happily Ever After really got him.
Yeah.
No, she meant like
Yeah.
he
Had a few drinks for
I
sure.
don't know,
Too many.
like
At Magic Kingdom, too.
Yeah.
Golly.
I don't. And are they allowing alcohol
Yeah.
at Magic Kingdom?
Well,
I want
now?
to go with him to Epcot. That'd be interesting.
The table service restaurants all have alcohol.
Okay. So maybe that's what I was missing. That piece of it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, and no Disney security came. And oh man,
Nope.
Ooh, I would have been.
Something that happened to me was I was really excited for the show on the castle, and I got a spot where I could stand on my feet and see it. And then a lady pushed through the crowd and stood right in front of me.
Yeah.
Those are the worst.
So I moved, and I got a piggyback ride, and then a person right in front of me held up a camera.
For the whole time.
And then
whole
you're
time.
like, do your arms not get tired? Like this is like a 22-minute show.
And by the way, it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
You're not the first person to video this
like,
thing.
Yeah.
your arms, because when I recorded it, and it was on my phone, so
Yeah.
it wasn't like an iPad or anything like that, and it was like eye level.
Yeah, and that's fine.
But like my arms got real
Yeah,
tired.
no
I was
kidding.
like, this thing's forever long, and like
yeah.
I had to change.
But it was
Like I could accept the kids in the air. I got it because they needed to be able to see.
But they shouldn't put them
But-
on shoulders, honestly. They got to figure something else out because that blocks so many people when you
it
put a
really
kid on their
was
shoulders.
hard. It was disappointing that I didn't get to see it better because there were some things that I would have loved to have seen that McKenna told me about. But then there were things that I saw and I had to tell her about, you know?
Yeah, like
it was just when the crowd would shift the right way, one of us might be able to see.
Like, I never knew that Flick was even in that show until we went and saw it front row. And I was like, Flick! Yeah. Interesting! Never would have seen that.
And there was a kid a ways in front of us who held up like 20 balloons.
Oh yeah, they pulled him down. No, that was it's a cast member who was selling balloons.
Oh, there was?
Yeah, and they pulled him down for the show.
No, there was a kid I saw on shoulders
holding balloons. Oh, I didn't see that.
So did you go when you went to Hollywood Studios? What show did you do there?
We did Little Mermaid, and we did Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, and we did Nighttime Spectacular.
You did not do one?
We didn't do one because we were in Toy Story Land.
Okay, see, that reminds me.
It
one
was
of the
a
times,
trade-off.
Yeah, well, that's a good trade-off. I mean,
yeah,
one of the times when we did the Star Wars fireworks, literally the thing starts and everybody puts their lightsabers and they just pot up, and I was like, "You're not a Jedi. Put it down, dude. Stop." It's like, what are you doing? Everybody. It was just like a sea of lightsabers.
Yeah.
So I was like.
It's frustrating because people just have no awareness of around what's going on around them.
That's the hard part about Disney. That's why I think I would prefer a downtime.
Yeah, we should really try to go in maybe the first couple weeks of May,
Yeah.
or maybe first couple weeks of November. I hear it's a good time.
Well, DVC, going back to the original point, the original question, DVC. If I had a chance to redo it all over again, I would do DVC instead of annual pass. Just because DVC, we did the DVC tour, and with the DVC, you get the Florida rate for the annual pass.
Yeah.
And you can make the payments on it with that.
Yeah.
With the DVC. And like you said, you can go places outside of.
I didn't realize Adventures by Disney was covered in DVC, so you can do those kind of things, which are tours of Europe and all kinds of China and all those places.
Granted, it's a lot more expensive.
It is,
but it's
you got to use a lot of points for it, but you can do it.
But I'd be willing to maybe forego the vacation to Disney for a couple years to build up
bank
those
the points
to use the one,
and then use it then, and maybe do the vacations that are close driving distance.
Yep, and once you're in, you're in.
Yeah,
it's like
and
it's passed down.
And I've
to
said,
them, so it's like, gosh.
I've considered buying a resale, but you don't get all the perks if you get the resale contracts. And if I'm going to do it, I want the perks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I want access to all the lounges. I want I want to get to go to all the parties, and I want all that stuff. So
I will admit it was hard for me not to walk up to one of the people standing there and ask about it a little more, because I was thinking we could afford to do it now if we wanted to.
Garrett's sold on Copper Creek, I think.
Well, that's one that they're selling now.
Yeah,
I'm sold on DVC.
Yeah, that's how I was when we left. I was like, I'm gonna buy DVC. That's it. But then I was like, yeah, it's like $13,000. And I was like, I don't have $13,000. But I mean, it's DVC. It's the way to go. I wish I would have told you about the DVC tour, because it sounds like you could have.
You did.
Oh, okay.
You told us about it. We just we thought about it, but we decided not to do it.
Yeah,
fast passes and ice cream and.
I think it's just one of those things that we need to wait one more year, and I think in another year we'll be ready to move in that direction
to the next step
if we want to. So yeah.
But
cool.
But really, all in all, I feel like we, especially when you think about all the first time experiences we got on this trip, and I feel like we did a better job of taking advantage of the hotel that we were staying in. And I just want to say, because we haven't said that much about it, I really did enjoy Pop Century.
I think it's worth
what you pay.
We didn't spend a lot of money on the resort.
No.
Because we went with Pop Century. Pop Century is fine. It's not fancy. Don't get that in your head, because it is not.
I want to say I really like the refurbished rooms.
So you got a refurbed room.
We did.
Yeah.
Good.
But it feels like the rooms were designed by IKEA. It's all just functional.
Yeah. It's not 50s feel. We stayed in the 50s, and it didn't
No,
feel like
it doesn't
we
feel
were
like
in the
50s. It feels modern, but it's all very functional. It's all very
functional and furniture.
Utility. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. And that's fine. I will say, we could hear every toilet that flushed
really
in
I
every
heard
room
people
that was
showering.
connected to
I
ours.
actually heard people using the restroom.
Yeah, we could hear that
Really?
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
we could hear it was noisy in our room.
it's probably not all the way refurbished then, because those
You didn't have that experience?
No, I didn't.
But it was nice.
It's still nice, and the resort as a whole, the gift shop is really nice.
Yeah.
The cafeteria, I was very satisfied with that.
Yeah.
And I like the pools and the recreation. It did not surpass Art of Animation for me. I would still stay Art of Animation,
even at the price point.
Yeah.
I also have a bias of Art of Animation because I like animation.
Yeah. I like the theming better. I like the rooms a little better. I think I would do Art of Animation again, but in my mind, I felt like it was worth it, and I felt like we weren't disappointed with our hotel at all.
No.
We went in understanding this is a value resort. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not going to be a deluxe resort, and we felt like we got our value out of it.
Yeah, and I would stay there again. If it were something that we were trying to save some money. Like, it makes sense to stay there. It's not a bad one. It's actually pretty cool.
The one thing I was going to say to add to what Sam was saying is that the buses they come frequently, but at night coming home from the parks, we were usually waiting on like a second bus to come, and it was jammed full.
So you used the buses coming home?
We did, and it was to me, it's worth it to maybe pay a little more, because we were looking at some of the other bus stops, and we were like, oh, look, there's like half a bus worth of people waiting on that bus.
Yeah.
And ours was always a lot of people.
Yeah.
So that was one of the things I thought about. But yeah, all in all, great trip.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's what we like to hear.
Yeah.
You know, coming back, as long as you get those 2 words, it was great. It was a great trip, you know. That's good. And I appreciate you having me on here and getting to interview you.
Yeah,
this was fun.
It was a Kevin takeover.
I love coming on here.
Man, you're always welcome.
So much fun.
I like having you over. You should do it again.
Yeah.
Very soon.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Anytime you want to join us here on the monorail, there's always room.
Yeah, you just let me know. I love coming on here. It's always a good time.
But if people want to hear you on another podcast, they can do that.
Yep.
What's it called?
The Mouse Knows Best. We are about to dive into, or we just started our Pixar series.
Okay.
So you can hear us talking about Pixar movies. You can hear me talking about Coco and Bug's Life coming up.
All right.
So excited for that.
Yeah.
And then you can read my articles. You can hear my voice. Imagine me talking to you as I write for Geek Vibes Nation, talking about starting a new series on the #1 TV show ever made, Game of Thrones.
I feel like I need to hook you up with Landon at some point. You guys would have a lot to talk about. Cause
you need to.
Yeah.
Does he like Game of Thrones?
Oh, he's got a Game of Thrones podcast.
Well, what?
Yeah.
What am I doing?
I know, man. You're on the wrong show.
Oh, my gosh. I've been looking for somebody to talk about Game of Thrones with on a podcast for the longest time.
Yeah. He and one of his pals do a podcast called Got Talk, Game of Thrones Talk.
Oh, my gosh.
So... buttmunchchips.com. That's his website, so you can check it out. So Landon gets a free plug, even though he did no work today.
Wow. Oh, my God. My mind's just blown.
Yeah. So, Kevin, it's always a great time having you. I really appreciate it. Thanks for being the interviewer today.
Thanks for having me.
It was a great way, I think, for us to kind of recap this trip and go through it. And, man, I feel like we didn't even get to cover everything, but there's so much to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So, and I want to thank you all for listening. I appreciate you. Thanks so much. And appreciate your patience, as I know that during this vacation, we were a little less active on Twitter, and we were doing the resort podcast anyway. We kind of banked a couple of those. So now we're back. We're going to be a fully functional monorail once again, and I'm happy that you're aboard with us. So if you're enjoying what you hear, please let us know. Give us a rating on iTunes. Send us some feedback on Twitter. We're at Morning Monorail. And otherwise, you can search us up. We're Monday Morning Monorail. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We are in your house. So just find us, and we would love to chat with you. So for Sam, Garrett, McKenna, and Kevin, this is Justin. We'll see you next week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for riding with us today. We hope you enjoyed the journey, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Until then, we want to hear from you. Send us questions, comments, and suggestions on Twitter at Morning Monorail. Our email address is mondaymorningmonorail@gmail.com. You can also call our voicemail at 407-917-2144. As we approach the station, gather your belongings and please watch your step as you exit.
See y'all real soon.